It's not confirmed, and that's how I'm going to live my life going forward.
That is true.
It could just be a big swerve, right?
Well, Pasty, somebody who is going to WWE, at least reported on the last edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, is the Sauce, Alex Zane.
Cool, maybe Sammy can slip out the back door unnoticed.
And he has recently finished up all of his indie dates. Expect him to start soon. Zane is considered to be one of the top talents on the independents right now. It's believed that Zane will be part of the upcoming WWE Performance Center class that is rumored to also include the aforementioned Rascals.
Leave the Rascals out of it. They're not going there. Can't they see that that's the worst mistake they could ever make?
I mean, I guess it all depends on what they're getting paid, Pasty. These are trying times for everyone in the wrestling business.
They're tiny guys. Tiny guys don't do well once Vince sees them.
Agreed.
It almost makes me as mad as our next story, sort of. Because WWE just announced today, a mere hours before we went on air, the release of Zelina Vega. There's no word yet on what led to Vega's release, but she has been vocal about supporting unions recently and spoke out against WWE third-party edict. She last wrestled during last Friday's SmackDown in a tag team SmackDown qualifier with Natalya and the winner Ruby Riott. Vega, who is married to SmackDown superstar Aleister Black, signed with WWE in June 2017 and debuted on the WWE NXT brand. She was brought to the main roster in the 2018 Superstar Shakeup. Vega was just drafted from Raw to SmackDown in the 2020 draft. And hot damn, they fire the one whose husband still works for the company. And they're keeping Paige and Lana. They're using her as an example, I think. And it's stupid.
It is very stupid.
Vega's going to do more for WWE than Lana will. She already has. By acting as AJ Lee and fighting with my family, for starters.
Yeah, and I mean, and she's a really good wrestler, you know. And,
yeah.
She was awesome. I loved her back in Impact Wrestling, Rosita.
Mm.
Her and Sarita had a really good run with the tag team titles, which, of course, they're bringing back the Impact Knockouts tag titles. Way to go.
Yes, that's good stuff.
So, I mean, I think she'll do good. I don't think she was, you know, well, I can't say that. I think Zelina Vega could have gotten big in WWE. She's a good-looking woman. She has talent, and she's that coveted Hispanic market that WWE loves so much. It's like they could have done great things with her, but you know, she can go anywhere and still do great, I think.
I think the problem is when she came up to the main roster and became just a manager. I don't think there was anything else she was going to do in Vince's eyes beyond that.
That was weird to me.
Yeah, it was weird, and it's sad because she's probably better than the people she was managing, to be honest.
Right.
She is a fantastic talent. And let's just hope Aleister Black hasn't recently signed another contract.
Right? Yeah.
I could see both of them going to Impact for sure.
I would love it. I think it would just be I think it would be awesome. You know, she would have been a good fit with the Rascals. Just saying. Oh, Pasty, we got one more news, and it's good news. We got AEW announcing Thursday the signing of Jade Cargill, which comes after she made her debut on this week's Dynamite. Cargill came out to confront Cody Rhodes and to tease a possible AEW appearance by NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal. Not used to talking about basketball on the wrestling show. She also had a confrontation, right? Also had a confrontation with Cody's wife, Brandy Rhodes.
That Jade was great. Brandy called her a heifer. Brandy, you're heavier than she is. Brandy was so southern there. I think this is the perfect kind of angle, though, because it's the only time Brandy Rhodes is ever going to be fired up to be seen as an actual wrestler.
Right. Yeah, well, Pasty, Jade held an internet press conference today in which she stated, I joined AEW because I have a voice here. I'm ready to shake up the women's division, and I'm going to flip this promotion on its head. Cargill has previously trained under QT Marshall at his Nightmare Factory, which is also where Shaquille O'Neal has been training recently, Pasty.
Yeah.
And she also trained at the face-to-face wrestling school owned by Richard Morgan and Heath Slater.
If you're gonna bring in Shaquille O'Neal, he's gotta like his gimmick has gotta be face turn, heel turn like Big Show. You know what I mean? But he does it like multiple times in a night every time you see him.
I just think it'd be awesome if he just came in as Kazam, like totally, like complete gimmicked him up. It's not even Shaquille O'Neal. Who is this? I am Kazam.
What if he comes in and debuts and he's better than Pat McAfee?
Well, you know. So this is interesting because AEW right now, their women's division isn't the greatest. I think everybody will admit that. And Jade Cargill is super green, and it looks like they're throwing her right into a main spot against Brandy Rhodes, who's also a pretty poor wrestler, and I just don't see who this is benefiting. Now, I believe she is dating Shaquille O'Neal, at least is what I've heard, so maybe that's where this comes in. I don't know. I know she has kids with a baseball player.
She's so
I don't
tiny
know
to be dating Shaquille O'Neal. That would be difficult. Well,
I mean, to be fair, anybody dating Shaquille O'Neal looks tiny. So I don't know what to think of this. I think that there's so many talented women on their roster that aren't getting to do good stuff, and then they keep pushing some of these women. I mean, we'll see what happens.
The way her promo went, I actually kind of anticipate maybe Shaq comes in and does like a match spot thing, but I don't think he's coming in to wrestle. I think he's coming in to challenge Cody, and I think potentially Shaq is an EVP at AEW for a period of a year or so.
That'd be different. That'd be interesting.
Tony Khan said big shit's about to happen that's really going to change everything. And so now I'm like, what the fuck is going to change everything? They said
Tony
Shaq.
Khan.
Is Shaq going to own the company?
Tony Khan is this generation's Dixie Carter when it comes to how many times in this short-lived AEW have we heard him talk about something that's going to change the wrestling world?
We'll
and
see. I'm
he did it
not
again,
done
and
giving him chances.
it was Pac was what was going to change the wrestling world.
He is.
I like him, but Tony just needs to quit making those announcements. Just shut up.
I do love that Eddie Kingston's doing the abusive father role in this storyline, where like he's the head of the family and he lost his match and he's beating himself up about it, but instead of beating himself up, he pits his kids against each other.
Oh, and I love it.
It's so interesting and refreshing for wrestling to like touch on real strings like that. And I don't know, it's beautiful and it's art and it's so different than what I'm used to.
When Kingston comes out and he's like, oh, my best friend and his brother. And then at the end when Pentagon won and he's like, Penta, my best friend, you won.
Yeah, get
and
this guy out of here.
He kicks Ray out underneath the fucking ropes, and he's like, hey, good job, and gave him a little kick. And it's like, Penta. I hooted for that one. Kingston is such a great actor on top of his in-ring skills. It's awesome.
Yep.
Too good.
And the bunkhouse match on Dynamite was really good. It's got me more amped for Butcher and the Blade than I've ever been before.
Yeah, finally the Blade, the former Pepper Parks, is really coming out now and showing some of that old Pepper Parks that was such a huge name on the indies. That's coming out now, and I love it. I think it's really good.
I think it's crazy that he's relatively young. That's the thing that blows my mind. How did you get such unfortunate genes? Because he looks like he's like sick. He looks like he's as old as fucking Jake the Snake Roberts. There you go. He does. He looks about as old as Jake the Snake Roberts.
The Blade?
Yeah. No, the Butcher. Sorry.
Okay. Now we're okay. You're really throwing me off there. I'm like,
No,
Pepper
yeah.
Parks is a young-looking dude.
I didn't know Pepper Parks. Don't mind me.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, the Butcher. Well, how old's the Butcher? I don't even know.
I'm not 100% sure. I just know in AEW Unrestricted, they did their episode, and he was talking about how beforehand he was in a band and he was getting ready to hang it up in wrestling because he'd been at it for a little while, but it wasn't going anywhere and shit. But from the sounds of it, he's in his 30s, which is weird.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Just got some bad hair genes. Nick Jackson knows about that, though.
Yeah, he does.
I feel so bad for him. You get your own company and all your hair just starts falling out. You're the best tag team in the world. You're turning into the Fabulous Freebirds right now.
I think it's going to be great because I akin it to like whenever a president takes office and they show you like their picture when they took office and then their picture when they leave office, and it looks
or
like they
6 months
age like
later, for that matter.
That's true. Looks like they aged like a decade or so, and it's like, yeah, I like to see a picture of these guys in 4 years or 2 years down the line and see how much they've aged just by running this company.
Good times though. Good stuff in wrestling, and good stuff is still to come. But you're gonna have to wait for a later episode for that because we're fucking fresh out of news.
We're done.
Yes.
Can't handle it.
So with that being said, go back into your lives. Stay safe. And we'll see you next week. Snap out of it.
Pasty.
What?
Love.
Oh, yeah. Love.
Spread it like cancer.
Spread it like cancer. That's right. Stay tuned for those t-shirts too, folks.
Damn right.
Snap out of it.